Today, we are going to unpack something big, how to cut through all the noise around AI and get to real, measurable results for HR teams. We're going to take a close look at the AIHR AI Bootcamp and see how it promises to turn HR pros from just being curious about AI to being truly confident and capable with it.
Right, so this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's on every HR leader's mind. Everyone is talking about AI, but how do you actually put it to work? How do you move your team beyond just fiddling with new tools and start strategically using solutions that actually save time, improve quality, and push the business forward?
And this is where AIHR positions its bootcamp as the answer. The core promise is right there in the tagline, low friction, high impact. It's what they call a blended learning experience, which is just a mix of live online sessions and work you do on your own time. It's all designed from the ground up to fit into the crazy schedules of busy HR teams.
Okay, so let's start with the person, the individual. What actually happens to someone who goes through this bootcamp? The whole goal is a pretty clear transformation, taking them from just casually experimenting with AI to developing real expertise they can use in their day-to-day role.
And look, we're not talking about abstract theory here. The whole program is built to give an HR professional practical skills they can use right away. It's less about just knowing about AI and much more about being able to do things with it, like the very next day they're back at work.
So what do you actually walk away with? Well, it really boils down to three key things. First, a ready-made list of AI use cases that are prioritized for your specific job, and you'll have at least one that's totally vetted and ready to roll out. Second, you'll master prompting, which is basically the art of talking to AI to get exactly what you need. And third, you'll get a really deep understanding of how to use these powerful tools responsibly and securely.
Okay, so that first promise, a ready-to-implement use case. How do they actually make that happen? It all comes together in the AI Use Case Application Workshop. This is where learners stop just trying random things. They actually identify a real business problem they're facing and build out a specific AI-driven solution for it. It's all about turning a cool idea into a tangible asset.
And what about that super important prompting skill? Well, for that, the program has an advanced prompting workshop. Think of it as a safe space to fail and learn. Participants can really push the limits of prompts, get direct feedback from experts, and figure out how to work around AI's quirks. It's that hands-on practice that leads to way more accurate and efficient results.
And of course, we can't talk about any of this without talking about safety. That's a huge deal. The program tackles this head-on with a whole module dedicated to ethics, privacy, and data security. This is where people learn the nuts and bolts of protecting employee data, spotting potential bias in AI, and applying ethical rules directly to their own HR work.
Okay, so individuals get skilled up, they become more confident, that's great. But how does that actually translate into results for the entire organization? Now we're talking about the tangible stuff, the real return on investment. And that's a totally fair question, right? Because investing in your people is one thing, but seeing a real bottom-line impact is another. So let's look at the data that connects those two dots.
And the numbers, well, they pretty much speak for themselves. First up, a staggering 9 hours. That's the average amount of time saved per week for each HR professional who goes through the bootcamp. I mean, that's more than a full workday back every single week.
Then you've got this one, 100%. Every single person who took the course reported they felt more confident in the quality of the AI output they could create. This means they don't just use AI more often, they actually trust the results they're getting to be good.
And finally, 90%. The vast majority said they had a much better handle on the ethics, the privacy, and the safe usage of AI. And that's not just about being more efficient, it's about de-risking this whole new technology for the entire company.
So, when you pull all that together, the story is pretty clear. This program is designed to professionalize how a team approaches AI, moving them from just hoping for good results to consistently delivering a clear, demonstrable return on that training investment. So, the results are definitely impressive. But let's be real, there are other training options out there. So the obvious next question is, what makes the AIHR approach so different? Why partner with them?
Well, their whole approach really comes down to 4 key pillars. These are the things that they say define their unique value. Let's break them down.
First up, it's HR for HR. Everything, and I mean everything, is built specifically for the world of human resources, and it's taught by true specialists, people who are experts right at that intersection of AI and HR. The program itself gives you a really clear, structured path to go from a total beginner to an advanced user.
And the learning doesn't just stop when the boot camp ends. You get 12 months of access to their platform for continuous development.
A huge part of why this works is how they teach. They use this tell, show, do, apply model. So they tell you the concepts, they show you real-world HR examples, you get to do it yourself in live workshops, and then you apply those skills in a final project. That whole cycle is built for one thing, making sure you remember what you learned and can use it right away.
You know, don't just take my word for it. Listen to what their clients are saying. Here, the co-founder of HumanX talks about the value of having it all in one platform, the innovative tech side and the deep HR expertise. He calls it the best of both worlds. That combination is really what seems to make the difference.
So when you zoom out, the journey that this bootcamp really offers is a complete transformation. It's about taking an HR function from a place of random, hit-or-miss experimentation to one of strategic, coordinated execution, with clear standards and a solid direction that's actually aligned with what the business needs.
And all of that leaves us with one final and maybe the most critical question. In a world that is changing this fast, where AI is reshaping how work gets done, what's the real cost of just standing still? What's the risk of not building an AI-driven HR team? It's a pretty powerful thought to leave you with.